Right now, we do not have any suspects in custody.
Austin police are still searching for the robbers they say smashed and dashed at Barton Creek Mall last night, escaped with jewelry from the Helzberg Diamond store, and prompted an evacuation after people started calling 911 saying someone was firing shots. Those reports were mistaken. Overnight, APD confirmed nobody ever fired a weapon. Rather, the sounds were the suspects beating the hardened glass inside of the store. And this morning, we're getting a look at the chaos inside the mall as it was happening. Nobody was hurt, though. Thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Marin. Now, we have video from the Twisted Cork wine bar near the food court. You can see people making a run for it. Now, we know the first calls came in around 8:30 p.m. They were initially about a robbery, but the situation then escalated to an active attack response when other people reported seeing a gun. First responders then swarmed to the scene and cleared the area. KXAN viewers sent us videos of them hiding all over the mall. You can see the resulting chaos as it was happening. People took shelter in the back rooms of different stores. Others were in the movie theater, and they were confused over why they were being evacuated. Witnesses told us it didn't seem that serious at first.
We saw younger kids, 18, 19, sprinting to the exit, and we're like, oh, they're playing jokes, whatever, it's funny. And then we saw a lot more people start running. Finally, a lady screamed at the top of her lungs, "Run, there's a shooter, run!" And that's when people started just throwing their food out, pushing other people out of the way, and they're just sprinting.
And APD did not give KXAN a description of what the suspects look like, but investigators are reviewing videos. Police are also asking if you have any footage from last night, please send it their way. And going in depth now, smash and grab robberies like this one last night are making people feel less safe this holiday shopping season. That's according to a poll from News Nation. Almost half of those who answered said they've heard of these crimes, and as a result, they do not feel safe going into stores. Additionally, more than 80% of Americans say issues like in-store robberies and holiday porch pirates are a problem. National retail groups say losses from holiday theft is estimated to be in the tens of billions of dollars. And going even deeper on this month, we talked to the Austin Police Department about what people should do if they find themselves in this type of situation. Here's KXAN Today anchor Sally Hernandez with what they told her.
Within your 13 years at APD, have you seen this starting to increase, or does it usually happen more around the holidays, these burglaries and smash and grabs?
As far as something to that scale, I'm not familiar with anything like that. We've had organized theft rings here in the past. Obviously, we've had some this year as well, but it is not to the scale of 40, 50 cars pulling up and running in and burglarizing some of these places. In my experience here, we've never had anything to that scale.
Do you expect something like that could happen here in Austin?
Anything's possible, absolutely. We've seen a rise in our homicides this year. We've seen a rise in aggravated robberies this year.
So Sergeant, what do you do and how do you prepare for the possibility of something like that happening then?
We can't be everywhere at one time. So we're gonna have to work together as a community. And what I mean by that is I would say to the businesses out there, if you don't have surveillance video, consider getting it. Make sure the video retentions are set long enough to where if an incident occurs that we can come out, have plenty of time to come out and get that video before it falls off the server. To the patrons or any of the employees that may be working inside, I would say the best thing that you could do is to be a great witness. And what I mean by that is to not put yourself in harm's way. Well, certainly you don't want to confront these people if they have weapons or if they're making threats that they have weapons or that they're going to assault or injure anybody. So if you're able to discreetly get a video, if not, just pay attention very closely, get good detailed descriptions of the suspects, any suspect vehicles or anything that seems out of the norm.
Very good. And Sergeant, when something like this is like that happening, do you call 911 or do you call 311?
You call 911. Yeah, I don't want any sort of misconception on that.
Perfect. I appreciate your time. Great information.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And the effort to protect shoppers isn't exclusive to just Austin. Last month, the Kyle Police Department increased patrols around busy shopping areas. They added more officers roaming around on bikes. Now, since launching about 3 years ago, the unit has grown from 3 to 7 officers. They go through extensive training, and those skills are really useful during the holidays. Officer James Plant has been a part of the unit for 3 years. He says they've never actually caught anyone in the act of trying to break into someone's car or snatch their things as they leave the store. However, he does feel that their presence helps deter criminals.
One of the benefits of our bicycles is we can get into areas that police cars can't.
Checked in with Buda and San Marcos. City officials say they expect patrols around their busy retail areas as well. If you want to read more about any of these stories we just talked about, head on over to KXAN.com. There you can find our live coverage from last night and watch more videos from inside the mall.